Because at the end of the day, people trust me, and my name means more than money for me.
Sure.
So I want to know, okay, is this legit? Like, is this the real deal? So I went there, got a feel for it, ordered some samples, brought them back home, shipped them. I wore some. I gave to my mom, my sister, my friends, everybody. It was like $2,000 what it was of inventory. And we wore it for like 3 months. I told them, you guys have to wear it for 3 months. And you guys got to tell me the status and how everything went.
Yes.
And that was it. And it was great. And then my first order came on Facebook, actually. So then
So this is your first outside order outside of your family?
outside of my family,
Okay.
was Facebook.
Okay, and how much was that order?
$500.
$500. Okay.
It was $500. I was so happy. I prayed on that package. I said, Lord, let her love this, literally.
Yes. I know you blessed the weave.
I blessed the weave. I really blessed the weave. I love that. Bless the weave.
Yes.
I blessed the weave. And she's in Los Angeles, and she received her hair and then called, because then everyone was just calling me Marcel. And she was like, I love this hair. Da, 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 da. And that just really encouraged me. I said, well, if one person who is a hair lover loves it, because she's bought from other companies and she really loved it. And she was like, and I was like, you know what? I could do this.
Yes.
And literally that $500 order encouraged me to keep going.
Welcome to The Dash. You know, The Dash is that tiny line between your life start date and end date. It's your story, the chapters in your book, your journey. Get ready for real conversations with real people telling real stories about the realities of failure, setbacks, and success. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go. We're rolling. Let's go. The Dash in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Dash podcast. Okay, y'all know I'm always excited about my guests, but this one is a little bit different. But for those of you real quick that have never tuned into the Dash and this is your first time, first of all, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share with your friends, especially today's episode. Because one thing about the ladies and some fellas, we love us some hair, okay? And, the hair industry is like an over $6 billion industry. But there's one lady who's making a lot of that money. Okay, and I have her with me today, and I'm very excited about this. I want to get all your titles right. She is the founder and the CEO of one of the world's most popular hair companies, you guys. She's a wife, a mom, a philanthropist, a mentor, an investor, and I love this, a God-made business mogul. You guys,
Absolutely.
the owner of the owner of Yummie Extensions and Cosa Professionals. Is it Cosa?
Cosa Professionals.
Cosa Professionals.
That's correct.
We got Yummie O in the building. Hi,
Yay.
Yummie.
Hi, I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
Oh my, y'all, when I got the call that Yummie was going to be on, I'm like, OMG, this is the Yummie. You guys see this everywhere, the Yummie Extensions that has just become a world phenom. And I got a chance to meet you several years ago, but I mean, it's been up since then, sis.
Yes, it has. It has been a long time coming, but I'm so grateful for how far it's come. Like, I never really envisioned this. Starting off, it was one of those things where I said, you know what, I just really want something like a side hustle, with, to pair with for extra income with my corporate job. And people loved what I offered. And I really have a passion for hair. I remember the last time I didn't wear hair extensions. I've always loved long, luxurious hair. And my family always looked to me as a go-to person for hair. And I believe when I had my second daughter, my mom was visiting to help me and everything. And it was like at 12 midnight. And I was online, like researching for my aunt who had asked in the UK, who had asked me to buy her some hair for her personal use. And my mom said, why don't you do this as a business? And I looked at her with a side eye. I said, no, ma'am, that does not align with our vision.
Yes, we are corporate, yes.
Yes, my goal was to be the first Black CIO of my corporation that I worked for. And I said, that's what I want to do. That was my vision. I was like, I want to travel around the world doing this. And my mom said, you should give it a shot. You never know, because you have so much passion. And I took some time to research, because we all know that the hair industry is very, very unique.
Yes.
And I knew that, I wanted to fill a gap. I didn't want to just go in and just sell hair like everybody else.
Yes.
So I took about 2 years to do my research, kind of figure out what is the gap, because I am a consumer of hair as well, as you know. So I knew what the gaps were. The gaps were, number one, high quality extensions that will last, because people want versatility as well.
Right.
Right. And also just having a product that people would love year after year. And I said, okay, this is what I need to do. I need to go out there and figure it out. So I traveled. I went overseas.
So you did? You got on the plane and you went.
Yes, I did.
You wanted to touch, feel, smell.
I wanted to touch, feel, smell the hair, see how it looked. Because at the end of the day, people trust me, and my name means more than money for me.
Sure.
So I want to know, okay, is this legit? Like, is this the real deal? So I went there, got a feel for it, ordered some samples, brought them back home, shipped them. I wore some. I gave to my mom, my sister, my friends, everybody. It was like $2,000 what it was of inventory. And we wore it for like 3 months. I told them, you guys have to wear it for 3 months. And you guys got to tell me the status and how everything went.
Yes.
And that was it. And it was great. And then my first order came on Facebook, actually. So then
So this is your first outside order outside of your family?
Outside of my family. Okay. Was Facebook.
Okay. And how much was that order?
$500.
$500. Okay.
It was $500. I was so happy. I prayed on that package. I said, Lord, let her love this, Literally.
Yes. I know you blessed the weave.
I blessed the weave. I really blessed the weave. I love that. Bless the weave.
Yes.
I blessed the weave. And she's in Los Angeles. And she received her hair and then called, because then everyone was just calling me myself. And she was like, I love this hair. Da, 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 da. And that just really encouraged me. I said, wow, if one person who is a hair lover loves it, because she's bought from other companies and she really loved it. And she was like, and I was like, you know what? I could do this.
Yeah.
And that literally that $500 order encouraged me to keep going.
Okay. What? Look, we jumped. Look, I love you, Yummie. You jump right in. Okay. Listen. Okay, this is great. So $500, and I wouldn't consider it a brag.
Okay.
We share on this show the goodness of God.
Absolutely.
Right? This is part of your testimony. That $500 has turned into multi-millions of dollars.
Yes, it has.
And so, you know what? I think that is so important. And I just want to stay there just for a second, because there's so many people right now that are starting businesses. And sometimes they think, I only got 2 orders or only $300 came in on my first time. Because I think we often have this vision of like, we believe in our product and we believe when we put it out there that it's going to turn into like that overnight success that we see on Instagram. Like, I'm going to get my Lamborghini in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, right.
But $500 and just being consistent.
And being consistent.
Literally turn into this empire you've built.
Yes, and I'm so grateful. And one thing I want to add is, even after that $500, I didn't have a website at the time. So that prompted me to build a website. I'm like, yeah, if a person is going to buy it on Facebook, $500, I know if I build a website, then I'll have that times 10.
Right.
No, it didn't.
Right. It didn't happen like that.
It didn't happen like that. The website went up and it was crickets for several months, So, but then I kept posting. I kept, promoting. I literally on Facebook, I would tag everybody on my Facebook page.
Right.
Just to let them know. And I would say definitely, like you said, it's the consistency. And if you believe in what you're doing and you have passion for it, you need passion really for business, because if you don't have passion, any little obstacle that comes your way, you give up. And that's something I want to just encourage business, like you were saying, business to stay consistent, continue to operate in excellence, regardless of if you have 1 order or you have 100 orders. Still treat that order like it's the best order ever. You know what I mean? That customer like it's the best customer ever. And even with my customers, like I would talk to them like friends. Like we will be on the phone for hours just talking about, hey, even if they hadn't even purchased anything, because I believe that it's not just them, it's their friends and their friends and their friends. They could literally not be able to afford what I offer, but they could have a friend who can.
Yes.
So just treating people with respect and just giving it your all and not trying to like cut corners or, and all that. So that's, I would say, is super important in building a successful
business. That is so good. And I love that you talk about the customer care aspect of it, because people will never forget how you made them feel.
Absolutely. I say that all the time.
Yes, seriously.
Wow.
Think about it. Like when you go to a restaurant, if the waiter or the staff made you feel really great, even if food is mediocre, you will return there before somewhere that has some banging food.
Absolutely.
And they have sorry customer service, right?
Absolutely.
So, no, that's really good.
Customer service is everything. Because, with selling and marketing, you're not selling the product, you're selling the emotion, how the person feels. So as long as you're hitting that right, everything else, they'll buy. If people like you, they will buy everything from you. Think of it like that. So you have to be kind. And your character is everything. Like that trumps, of course you have to have a good quality product. But if you have a good quality product and the experience is poor, people are they're going to try and find somewhere else
Yes.
to buy the same thing or even better.
Yes, that is so true. Okay. So, the podcast is called The Dash.
The Dash.
So the dash is that little bitty line between your birth date and your death date that we seem to ignore. It seems so insignificant, right? We never talk about that little dash, but it's your journey. It's your story. So oftentimes we see the now. We see this, all the success that you have now. You have so many celebrities that are posting your hair. You have the Angela Simmons, you have the Sweeties. I mean, the list goes on and on. But I always like to take everybody back because I think that oftentimes we look at our current circumstances and we say, yeah, but she doesn't understand. Or yeah, but she was probably born with a silver spoon. Or yeah, but she doesn't understand what I've gone through or where I am. So I want to talk about little Yummie.
Okay.
I want to go all the way back.
Okay.
Because you were not born in the U.S., correct?
No, I was not.
And you were born in
Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay, in Nigeria. So let's talk about growing up in Nigeria and who was little Yummie? How would your family describe little Yummie?
A talkative. I used to talk a whole lot. And that leads me to the next thing. So I grew up in Lagos. I was born in Nigeria. And I grew up, I would say, from a middle-class family. And the vision for anyone who's from that country or knows is, we have to have a professional career. Like either you're a lawyer, a doctor, an accountant maybe.
Yes.
But, so business or being an entrepreneur or having a business was not even an option. So if you came and said, I own a business, like you own a business, they're like, this is probably fraud. You know what I mean?
My dad is from Jamaica. It's the same thing. Like there is no entrepreneur. What? No, absolutely
What
not.
is
You
that?
get a government job, okay?
Yeah, you don't know what you want. That's why you're an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
So that was really it. And my dad was an attorney, or is still an attorney. And that was my vision. I wanted to be him. I wanted to be a lawyer. Everybody be like, oh, she would make a good lawyer just like her dad. And that was it for me. I was like, I'm going to go to college and do this and do all of that. And it didn't quite pan out that way. It didn't quite pan out that way. And, if also growing up, I honestly did not see myself as this, I talked a lot. I was free and talked to everyone, but there was always like a timid part of me. Like it was almost like I wouldn't, how do I say this? I just didn't see me leading people. Does that make sense? Or leading things.
That's so good that you say that.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna tell you why that's so important. Because people feel. No, society will make you feel if you weren't this natural born leader, if you didn't see from the time you were 3 or 4, if you didn't see yourself as this person that was going to lead people to the promised land, then you can't be successful. But God made so many different personalities. I love that you said that because, I mean, oh my gosh, so many people out there are inspired now because they're like,
I hope so.
Yes, I love that. Okay,
I never really saw that. It was, it was just one of those things where I thought I would just be that professional job, be behind a desk, read a book, not really any opportunity there, here and there, inspire people here, but never really saw myself as that.
Yeah.
And I would just fast forward came to United States, went to University of Houston, and then I got to University of Houston, and I'm like, I met with my counselor, and it's like, what does it take to be a lawyer in America?
Yeah.
She's like, well, you've got to have a 4-year degree, and then afterwards, then you have to go to law school. I said, that seems way too long for me.
It's long, exactly.
And, understanding my background, the way, we were raised to, if you come to this country, the goal is to come here and pay it forward,
right.
And I thought to myself, that's going to take way too much time to
agree.
do all of that. And then I think one of my first courses I took was Computer Information Systems 101 or 130. And then someone in the class says, well, if you study computers, you're going to make a whole lot of money.
Ding, ding, ding.
And I said, ding, ding, ding. And I said, well, that's the degree I need to be in.
Exactly.
And I really enjoyed the course. I mean, it was really just Microsoft Word, suites, and things like that. And that's how I really went in and I, did that as a degree. And then my vision, again, changed. It went from I want to be a lawyer. So, again, I'm saying all this to say that as you grow in life and, different seasons in life, there is going to be times where you will have to experience change. Doesn't mean that it's wrong. It just means that God is basically taking you has a purpose for you. There's a reason why he needs to take you or make you shift to something else. So I went there, and my goal at the time was, well, I want a job. I want to be able to have a career where I can make quick money. That was it.
Hey,
honestly, I'm being honest.
That's the goal.
And I got it.
Okay.
I graduated, was in consulting, was, doing 6 figures, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Traveling around the world, doing whatever I thought was perfect. And one day I told my husband, I said, I'm doing this that I enjoy, kind of, but I don't see impact. I don't feel people. I just feel like I'm doing this to make money for others. Like, when you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, okay, you're prescribing something for someone who is sick and they become well. I've never felt like I was doing anything that had, well, at least in my IT career, that had impact.
And purpose.
That's
purpose.
Good. And it felt empty. It felt like, okay, we had this project, it ends, off to the next project. But who are the people that are gaining from it? It was just profit,
That's good.
And at one point, I even told my husband, like, I think I want to be a nurse. Maybe I need to go to nursing school. And he looked at me like, you've got a whole kid. How are you going to do that? I'm like, he's like, you don't need that. So anyways, and that's where it kind of shifted for me again. It says, yeah, money is great. However, I need more. I need more than money. I need purpose. I need something else to fill the gap. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Like, if you earn the money, if you earn the money, what is it filling? Because at the end of the day, you can buy all the designers and everything you need or whatever, or build a big house. There's still that emptiness, and that's how it was for me. And then when I had my second daughter, and my mom shared with me that vision, I was like, okay, sure, that's another way for me to meet other people. And for me, to be honest, in this business, especially early on and even till now, I have the opportunity now, thankfully, to impact others, to hear their stories. I mean, I have customers on the phone who will cry about some other situation that's not relevant to even the hair extensions. And I'm able to share with them and talk to them about things that will kind of help them as individuals, and that I'm thankful for with Yummie Hair Extensions, because it wasn't just me. I was able to do both. I was able to make money and impact. And for me, I would never trade it for the world, because having this brand has not just helped me anyway, to fill that gap, but also give women transformations. Like, I've seen women, and with hair, once you go to this beauty salon and you get your hair done, it's a wrap. No one can talk to you. Feel like, so do that. And, they might be going through some personal issues, and then they go get their hair done and they just feel like they can conquer the world, so that is, I would say, like, my entire journey. It took me from, it was, and then now I'm having to, have that successful business. But then it's like, okay, well, Yummie, you can't do it by yourself. You need people. Then I need to go back to the drawing board and figure out how to lead.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like, how do you lead people? How do you inspire people? How do you make people do what you need them to do? That's a different ball game.
Yes.
It's so different from selling. Like, you can sell, I can talk to people, I can make them buy, but how about making people do things? That's where leadership's gone. That's something that I then had to go back and read up on and pray and ask God to help me, because it literally requires prayer, because it wasn't, you can read a book all day long, but if God doesn't give you that covering, like, I would just say, God, give me the words, give me the right words to speak.
That's good.
Give me the right words to speak so they don't see me, but they see you.
That's good.
And it's something that I work on myself daily. So it's not I'm still working on myself.
No, and we always are.
I'm still a work in progress.
I love the fact that you were successful. And that's oftentimes what we work for. We're like, oh my gosh, I would be so much happier if I had more money, blah, blah, blah. But it is true. God will literally keep you up at night. He did it to me. Like, with this burning desire that you can't quite put your finger on, where you're just like, I know there's more. I know that you want to use me for a bigger cause, a bigger purpose. Like, and you're trying to figure out what it is. I just think it's so dope that yours was hair. Like, who would have?
I know. Who would have thought? And and also, I don't have any hair background. Like, it literally is passion. Like, I wear it. I'm a consumer of it. And
which makes you a great person, because you know the quality you want. Because I mean, I I could be wrong, Yummie, but you kind of give me the vibes that you don't play about your hair. Okay.
No, I do not play about my hair, people. I do not play about my hair.
And you are not gonna like you want quality, which is great. That's what you all also want to bless your customers with.
Yes.
Yes. Being a consumer, I think, makes you the best to actually distribute as well.
I believe so. I believe so. You know, because. And I also mentor women, especially, and the women that gravitate towards me the most are women who own hair business or hairstylists. And I always tell them that, you have the techniques to do this, but there's more to it than just the technique. You know, the human aspect of it, the technology aspect of it. You could have the best product, but if no one hears about it, then it's really just the best product for you.
Sure.
You know, you have to understand the back end of business as well. How to run a business, efficiencies, figuring out like priorities. Is it a priority to put out 15 different textures at once and only sell one?
Right.
Or put out one good one and market the heck out of that one good one and sell 15. You see what I mean? So understanding business is also important, not just with the...
I'm smiling because I'm gonna tell you why I'm smiling because I'm like, I hope y'all know that Yummie is dropping some gems right now, and she is giving you the key to your business. Because a lot of times I have done this before. We want to do so much at once because we're like, oh my gosh, I will only have one, but get that one or that two, and market the heck out of them. You are dropping gems, right? That's why I'm smiling because I'm like, people don't even realize you're literally helping them build their business right now.
I hope so. That's all. Again, goes back to what we said. The impact.
Yes.
Impact is everything. Like that is why I do what I do, is to be able to, share my story, let people know that anyone can do it. Yeah. Literally anyone. You don't, there's a song, I know it's not that I've been listening to recently, and I think I posted something with that song is, God is a dependable God. He can do anything for anyone. You don't have to come from a rich family, or you don't have to have a whole bunch of money in the bank. He will do it regardless of who, what, So, and that is something that and I always give him all the glory because it has nothing to do with my expertise. It has nothing to do with my access. I don't know anyone. Like, it's not like I, grew up in Hollywood or know someone that knows somebody. It was just me who had a passion, gave it a shot, and kept at it consistently. Didn't get distracted and move from hair to this and this and this. It was hair and hair all the way, and I'm just so thankful for how far it has come. Like I didn't expect this, honestly. I did not expect, but I know why now, now in retrospect, I know why, because I see a lot of, even young entrepreneurs now, in the business getting started, they're not starting. Sometimes they start because they just want to make a quick buck. They're starting because, I have a talent. I think everybody's going to want. You can have a talent all day long, but if you don't stay consistent, if you don't operate in excellence, one day you're posting and another you're not. It's not only. It's after a while you're going to get to a threshold, a point where it doesn't go any further. So you have to have an open mind, have a vision, and stick to that vision, regardless of whoever comes your way. Because I promise you, especially people come with all kinds of ideas. I get so many emails, text me, do you want to do this and this? I'm like, well, if it doesn't align with the vision that I've already set, sorry, off to the next one, because we're not doing it.
I love that. And I love how you said earlier that God can do anything, because it is true. He doesn't ask us to, how does the saying go? He doesn't ask us to, basically, we don't need the expertise. He literally just asks us to be available. Because sometimes God will take you in like the oddest direction where you're like, you coming from corporate America to now being a mogul in hair products that doesn't even align. It does, but it doesn't, right? You learn so many business skills, but nobody could ever... Again, look at little Yummie and say, okay, this is going to be the path that she's going to take.
Absolutely not.
And shouts out to your mom. Like,
shout out to my mom.
Yeah, I hope mom's taking care of.
Shout out to my mom.
Okay, Okay, so the hair business is billions and billions of dollars. So if somebody said right now that they wanted to start a hair company, right? How much money do they need to get started? Is there a certain amount or?
Right now, there isn't a certain amount. It depends on how big you want to start.
Okay.
You know, but what I can say is I can say where to put the money.
Okay. That's good.
First of all, right now, I would say in your products. That is paramount because the consumer today is very, very aware. They know where to get it.
Yes.
You know, they know what good hair looks like. They know they have a full understanding of what they're looking for. So I would say focus on the product itself. Get that set, situated. Secure a vendor that you have like a personal relationship with. Start there first as far as your inventory and all of that. Like focus on your inventory, number one. And the next thing is really your marketing is the next thing, I would say. Now, I would say don't feel the need to spend an exorbitant amount of money on like marketing things because people, there you've got influencers and it's expensive, you know. I would say try to find ways that you can do it on your own first.
That's good. I love that.
Get you a good iPhone, some good lights, do some makeup, style your own hair, like do that because at the end of the day, people want to know you.
Yeah, that's good.
You know, they want to know you. So I wouldn't say you could start with $2,000. You could start with $50,000, but I would say start small.
I love that.
Start
Okay.
small.
Let's say I wanted to start here. Do I need to fly to Southeast Asia or wherever this hair comes from? I don't know where it goes. To actually meet a vendor, or is that not necessary?
No, right now it's not necessary. We've got Google.com. Okay.
Save your plane ticket
Save your
money.
plane ticket. Until I would say save your plane ticket until you've tested out several samples from that individual and from that vendor or factory. And then yes, after a couple of years, you've kind of see some traction with the product. Then yes, and you have the budget, then you can go travel and see. But for right now, FedEx ships things within 1 to 2 days. You can get it. You can, if you test it out, it doesn't work, we move on to the next thing. But I would say in the very beginning of the hair business, you've got to test. So you are going to have to spend quite a bit on testing products. And
because I want to remind everybody, if you didn't hear her earlier, she did say you did research for 2 years.
Yes, 2 years.
Again, those are the parts of the story that we miss out on. And we're like, okay, God, I got about 2.5 weeks
to get this going.
Yes.
Right.
I need to be worth $1 million by the end of the year. So
okay, amen to that. Good luck.
Yeah, okay. So are there any final words that you want to leave? You've been so inspirational today. You know what? Actually, I'm going to ask you a specific question. We get I have a passion for growing our kids and teenagers and our future leaders. What advice could you give them? Because they live in a social media age right now. Well, everything is hype. I mean, they look at your products. Let me see. I have a list of, you've had Angela Simmons in your hair, Vanessa Simmons, Sweetie, Lil Mama, Lyra Galore, Angela Bassett. Shouts out, Angela Bassett. That's major. Oh. You've had so many celebrities in your hair. That is what our younger generation looks at, and that's what they're aspiring to be. But again, it's a building process. So are there any subjects or any skills that you say, look, if you want to be a business owner, this is what I would focus on? And our adults can also benefit from this.
Absolutely. I would say understanding money. Understanding money. How to use money. Like, that is number one. I would say understanding money, understanding the finances. Understanding that if you buy something for $10 and you sell it for $20, doesn't mean that $10 belongs to you. That means that you probably only have two. Understanding that, I would say number one is that, and understanding how relationships, building relationships. In business, it's about building relationships, and then also knowing that regardless of, I think I said that earlier, that don't focus on, you have the skill set. You have that. Because some of us are born leaders. Some people are born leaders. They're born, they can go in and, empower, get it to a space and, be the light. But at the end of the day, understanding that you have to have God. Like there has to be something bigger than you. Honest, because having a
Preach. Come on, Yummie. Preach to him,
It is not easy. It is not easy to do this thing. Like it really isn't. There's sometimes I just want to throw in the towel. I'm like, I'm done. Like this, I've made enough money. It's okay. Let somebody else do it.
Yeah.
You know? But knowing that it's bigger than that, knowing that the reason that you started it to begin with is bigger than just the money keeps you going. Mm-hmm. You know, knowing that there's a purpose for why you're doing what you're doing. That is what keeps you going in the times that it's hard. Because you can wake up one morning and say there's a plumbing issue in Dallas. In Brooklyn, the store wouldn't open. Or this person quit. Or the shipment didn't make it. Or now there's a thunderstorm and we just finished a sale and, you know, with these many orders and now this customer is upset. And it's like you can't even make it. I think I had one of my team members tell me one day, she's like, so, you know, Yummie, since I've been working here, there's never been a calm day. She literally told me that.
Oh my gosh.
She said, there's never been a day where we've just been calm. I said, yes, welcome to my world.
Yes. My goodness.
Welcome to my world. You know, welcome to my world. So and one thing, I'll leave it this, all the glitters is not gold.
That's good.
All the glitters is not gold. So don't worry about social media and what you see on social media because people only show you the highlights.
That's so true.
They don't show you when they wake up in the morning and they have challenge with their husband or their kids, or they don't show you all of that. They only show you the highlights. They don't show you the challenges. Like for me, if people see Yummie, they be like, oh, Yummie's, you know, she's balling. She's in all these press mentions. But they don't show you when I'm up at night, literally up at night till 5 a.m, 6 a.m. working. All the days that I cry and be like, God, what is next for me? Like, this is tough. This is too much. They don't see all that. So just let them know that, I'll just encourage everyone that in business, it's not easy, but as long as you know that it's bigger than you and there's purpose and you're going in there for impact and you're going there to show off and to just, you know, live the lavish life. Lavish life is good, but you know, it needs to be bigger than that. Yeah. Does that make sense? And know that anyone, again, I'm going to say this one more time, and I say this for myself. I'm no one without God.
Amen.
I'm no one without God. There's nothing about me, about my background, I said it before, about me that makes me special. And I believe that any single person that puts their mind to something will succeed. Period.
I swear, I love you even more now than I did before.
Oh, I love you more. Thank you.
I think this is amazing. I love how in your bio, you know, we hear a lot of people all the time. I'm a self-made millionaire. I'm a self-made mogul.
Self what?
And I love, look, I'm going to be honest. I already said I was going to steal it from you. I saw in your bio on Instagram when you put God made mogul. And I'm like, you know, we do have to give him the glory. And I appreciate you standing firm on that. And that is why you continue to be blessed, because that's what we're here for, right? To give him glory. Yes. You mentioned your kids, you mentioned your husband. Shouts out to the family. Yes. Have you figured out the balance yet? How to balance business and family?
No. It's still a work in progress.
That's good.
It really is. I'm still working on it. But what I do, and that has worked for me, is I deal with it in chunks. So I could work for like 2 weeks and then take a break for 2 weeks and then focus on my family 100%. You know, I do that, but trying to do it, not that I'm not with my family for 2 weeks, I'll make sure I'm clear.
Right.
But what I'm saying is I pick a project, I all hands on deck, get it done, and then I complete that, then I move on to the family and then do everything, like make sure that I just focus on them 100%.
That's good.
So that's how I do it. But having like a full balance where, you know, take the kids from school and then take them to ballet and this and this and this. I'm still there. If you can figure it out, please let me know. I will read a book, your book or whatever. I'm still there. And having a supportive family is important. My mom helps me. My husband helps as well whenever he can. So having a support system has definitely helped with the balance. But if it was just me by myself, No bueno, not quite there yet.
I love that. Oh, I forgot. We have to mention Costa Professionals. You
yes.
have, what is it? Is it called Hot Tools where you have the flat irons?
The
and
flat iron curling
I said,
irons.
this woman just won't stop. Okay, I love it. I love it. So
Yeah.
tell them what it is really quick.
Yes,
because I want to make sure we mention that. That's
Okay,
big.
yeah. So in 2020, we launched a brand called Costa Professionals. And this brand really focuses on, heat tools, flat irons, curling irons. We have blow dryers. So anything that is needed to help style the hair. And it's a professional product. So our end consumer is, the day-to-day, the everyday girl. And more importantly, the hairstylist. So that's what Costa is. And yeah, I'm super excited about that brand as well.
That's so cool.
Thank you.
Keep going.
Thank you.
Keep inspiring. Keep giving God glory.
Absolutely.
I am so glad that you came today.
I'm so glad I came.
Yeah, you have such a beautiful, this is why we do this. It's because I want people to understand the person behind this big brand that we are in awe of. And to hear these stories and to be encouraged and to be inspired. And I know that you've inspired so many today.
That's
How
awesome.
can people get Yummie extensions? How can people get the Costa Professional products?
Okay. Yummie extensions can be purchased at yummieextensions.com or at our retail locations. We have one in Dallas, Texas, and one in Brooklyn, New York. So those two stores and any other pop-up shop that we have advertised on our website. And also Costa Professionals can be purchased on costaprofessionals.com and at all Yummie extension stores and online as well.
Yes. And they have curly hair too that takes color really well. So when I take my braids out, you're going to see some Yummie in my hair. Just know. Okay. No, thank you so much. I really appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Thanks for having me.
It's what it's all about, you guys.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the support. Make sure you subscribe to the Dash Podcast YouTube channel. Also, we're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. And feel free to share it with some family and friends. Thanks, guys.